Get ready to be shocked. Did you know there's a mud volcano where you can dive inside? Or that there's a Catholic church built 180 meters underground? How about discovering the country that produces 70% of the world's emeralds and has the most colorful river on the planet? Colombia will blow your mind with 16 absolutely insane facts you never imagined. From palm trees taller than 20-story buildings, to a lost city older than Machu Picchu hidden in the jungle, I'm guaranteeing you'll be jaw-dropped with each revelation. It's no wonder this country is considered one of the most biodiverse and surprising in the world. Comment what surprised you most. Hit that like if you want to discover these incredible secrets. Subscribe and activate the bell to not miss any adventure. Share with your friends. They'll thank you for it. Stay until the end because the last fact will leave you speechless. Let's go. Number 16. The only underground salt sanctuary. The Salt Cathedral of Zipaquirá represents one of the world's most extraordinary architectural creations. Being the only Catholic church built 180 meters below Earth's surface inside an active salt mine. Located in the Bogotá savanna, this first wonder of Colombia was sculpted directly into halite, rock salt. Walls formed 250 million years ago when primitive oceans covered the region. The current cathedral, inaugurated in 1995, replaces the original 1954 temple built by devout miners seeking divine protection during dangerous work. The underground complex houses 14 Stations of the Cross, sculpted in salt, each dramatically illuminated, creating unique, mystical atmosphere. The main nave has 8,500 cubic meters excavated, with capacity for 3,000 faithful, while the monumental 16-meter altar was sculpted entirely in saline rock. A 16-meter cross dominates the presbytery, being the world's largest underground cross, illuminated by LED system that enhances natural crystalline textures. Exceptional acoustics allow religious celebrations and concerts that echo magnificently through saline chambers. Labyrinthine tunnels connect different sections, including mining museum that preserves secular extraction history. Controlled microclimate maintains constant temperature of 14 degrees Celsius and humidity that preserves saline structures. Annually, 600,000 visitors descend by elevators to experience this unique sanctuary where faith, geology, and engineering converge in sublime harmony. The cathedral symbolizes transformation of industrial space into spiritual heritage, demonstrating human capacity to create transcendent beauty even in the most unexpected terrestrial depths. Number 15. The only habitable active mud volcano. Volcán del Totumo represents a unique geological phenomenon on the planet, being the only active mud volcano where humans can completely dive inside. Located in Cartagena, this extraordinary formation of only 15 meters height contrasts drastically with conventional volcanoes, emerging as a small conical hill that hides a circular crater filled with naturally heated mineral mud. The constant temperature of 40 degrees Celsius results from underground geothermal activity that heats waters rich in volcanic minerals, sulfur, and medicinal clay. The dense mud possesses proven therapeutic properties, being rich in silicon, magnesium, iron, and potassium that nourish and rejuvenate skin, while high density allows total flotation without effort. Visitors descend by rustic ladder to the crater, where they can completely relax, immersed in the creamy substance that functions as a flea natural spa. Local tradition attributes legendary origin to the volcano. A priest would have exorcised demons that inhabited the place, transforming infernal fire into healing mud. Local masseurs offer treatments inside the volcano, taking advantage of natural anti-inflammatory and exfoliating properties. After the volcanic bath, visitors head to the nearby lagoon for complete mud removal, revealing renewed and silky skin. This geological heritage attracts thousands of tourists annually, transforming rare scientific phenomenon into unique wellness experience. The local Afro-descendant community preserves ancestral traditions related to the volcano, maintaining empirical knowledge about medicinal properties transmitted through generations, consolidating Tutumo as symbol of harmony between nature, science, and Colombian popular culture. Number 14. Guadua, giant bamboo, represents one of Colombia's greatest natural riches, being considered the vegetable steel of the tropics due to its extraordinary structural properties that surpass many conventional materials. This giant bamboo, endemic to Colombian Andean forests, can reach 30 meters height and 25 centimeters diameter, growing up to 21 centimeters per day during its accelerated development phase. Guadua's tensile strength surpasses steel in proportion to weight, while its natural flexibility makes it ideal for anti-seismic constructions in regions of high tectonic activity like Colombia. Traditional Paisa architecture has used Guadua for centuries, creating structures that resist devastating earthquakes, thanks to flexion capacity without rupture. Modernly, architects like Simón Vélez revolutionized sustainable construction, designing bridges, pavilions, and luxury residences entirely in Guadua that compete aesthetically with any noble material. The Eje Cafetero concentrates the largest plantations, where native guaduales cover thousands of hectares, providing raw material for industry that moves $200 million annually. Guadua has a 4-year cutting cycle, being 100% renewable and capturing 35% more CO2 than conventional trees. Its applications include laminated floors, furniture, musical instruments, and even high-quality paper. The Vallecaucano Institute of Livestock Research develops cultivation techniques that maximize sustainable productivity. This poor man's wood transformed into green gold, symbolizing Colombian ecological innovation that inspires worldwide sustainable architecture, proving that ancestral tradition can lead contemporary environmental revolution. Number 13. Fernando Botero. Fernando Botero Angulo, 1932 to 2023, consolidated himself as the most internationally recognized Colombian artist, creating Boterismo, a unique style where human figures, animals, and objects acquire exuberant volumes that transcend simple representation, celebrating sensuality and dignity through magnified proportions. Born in Medellin, his monumental bronze sculptures, some weighing 3 tons, occupy squares in New York, Paris, Singapore, and dozens of capitals, becoming instantly recognized urban icons. The Botero Museum in Bogotá houses 123 works donated by the artist, including paintings, drawings, and sculptures that narrate half a century of creation, plus personal collection with works by Picasso, Monet, and Renoir. In Medellin, Plaza Botero displays 23 monumental sculptures donated to his hometown, creating an open-air museum where children play among bronze cats, horses, and women, symbols of urban transformation. Botero explored universal themes like maternity, family, political violence, and Latin American traditions through volumetric optics that humanizes each figure. His interpretations of classic works like Mona Lisa reveal sophisticated humor and intellectual irreverence. The Boterian legacy establishes dialogue between erudite and popular art, transforming Colombia into a worldwide artistic reference through forms that celebrate life's abundance. Number 12. Lost City, Tayuna. Known by the Tairona indigenous as Tayuna, Land of the Elder Brothers, represents one of the most extraordinary and mysterious archaeological sites in the Americas, 600 years older than Machu Picchu. Built in the 8th century AD in the depths of Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, this pre-Columbian metropolis remained hidden for centuries until its rediscovery in 1972 by tomb raiders. The archaeological complex houses 169 circular and semicircular terraces connected by an intricate network of 1,200 stone steps carved into mountain slopes, evidencing the urban sophistication of the Tayrona. Located at 1,200 meters altitude in the heart of Colombia's densest tropical forest, the city once housed 8,000 inhabitants who developed advanced systems of terrace agriculture, aqueducts, and drainage. The 4-day trail through humid jungle is the only way to reach this lost sanctuary, covering 46 kilometers of ancestral paths that cross crystalline rivers, suspension bridges, and rustic camps. During the epic journey, adventurers face 90% humidity, 35 degrees Celsius, and intense tropical rains, but are rewarded with sightings of toucans, howler monkeys, and jaguars. The Kogis, Wiwas, and Arhuacos, direct descendants of the Tayrona, still consider Tayuna a sacred place where they perform ancestral rituals. Only 200 daily visitors are allowed, preserving the integrity of this heritage that represents perfect harmony between human engineering and wild nature, making each visit a transformative pilgrimage through the living history of Tayrona civilization. Number 11. Vallenato music. Vallenato represents Colombia's most authentic musical soul, a genre born in the Caribbean plains that conquered hearts worldwide and was recognized by UNESCO in 2015 as Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. This unique artistic expression emerged in Valledupar, current Valledupar, fusing indigenous, African, and European traditions in a perfect synthesis that narrates stories of love, heartbreak, adventures, and daily life of the Costeño people. The classic instrumental trio forms a magical orchestra, the diatonic accordion, German heritage brought in the 19th century, the caja vallenata, African-origin drum played with hands, and the guacharaca, indigenous instrument made from dry palm stem scraped with metal comb. Vallenato's traditional airs are 4: paseo, narrative and melancholic; merengue, happy and danceable; puya, fast and festive; and son, slow and romantic. Great juglares like Francisco el Hombre, Alejo Durán, and Escalona became living legends, creating compositions that transcended generations. The Festival de la Leyenda Vallenata in Valledupar, held annually since 1968, crowns the Rey Vallenato through competitions where accordionists demonstrate technical virtuosity and interpretive creativity. Carlos Vives revolutionized the genre in the 90s, fusing traditional vallenato with rock, taking it to international stages. Today, artists like Silvestre Dangond and Peter Manjarres keep alive this tradition that echoes from humble cantinas to large stadiums, preserving the narrative essence that transforms each vallenato song into a musical chronicle of Colombian Caribbean life. Number 10. Las Lajas, Sanctuary in the Mountains, emerges as one of the world's most spectacular and impossible architectural creations, literally suspended over the abyss of Guaitara River Canyon, on the border between Colombia and Ecuador. This extraordinary neo-Gothic basilica, built between 1916 and 1949, rises majestically 100 meters high over a stone bridge that connects 2 vertical rock walls, creating a vision that defies the laws of engineering and gravity. The miraculous story began in 1754, when Maria Mueces de Quiñones and her daughter Rosa, deaf-mute from birth, took shelter in a cave during a storm. Suddenly, the girl shouted, "The Virgin calls me," pointing to an image of the Virgin of the Rosary that had appeared naturally in the rocks. This inexplicable phenomenon attracted thousands of pilgrims, leading to the construction of successive chapels until the current basilica. The current structure, with its 33 meters height, presents twin towers that rise like Gothic needles against the Andean sky, while multicolored stained glass filters light, creating a mystical environment. The interior houses the original miraculous image, still visible in the natural rock, surrounded by thousands of votive plaques from grateful faithful. The sanctuary bridge, 50 meters long, offers vertiginous views of the deep canyon where the Guaitara River serpentines between millennial rocks. Architecturally, it represents a unique fusion between audacious engineering and unshakable faith, being considered by National Geographic magazine one of the world's most beautiful churches. Annually, more than 750,000 pilgrims visit this suspended sanctuary, transforming it into Colombia's second most important religious destination. Number 9. Caño Cristales River. Poetically nicknamed the River of Five Colors, or Liquid Rainbow, represents one of the most extraordinary natural phenomena on the planet. Located in the Serranía de la Macarena, in Meta Department, this 100-kilometer waterway transforms annually into a nature masterpiece, displaying a dazzling chromatic palette that includes vibrant red, golden yellow, emerald green, crystalline blue, and deep black. The visual spectacle results from the proliferation of Macarenia clavira, an endemic aquatic plant that only exists in this specific region of Colombia. During the dry season, between June and November, when water levels decrease and solar intensity increases, this microscopic algae produces photosynthetic pigments that dye the rocky bed in spectacular tones. The predominant red emerges when the plant reaches its reproductive maturity, creating underwater carpets that undulate with the current. The giant's potholes, circular rock formations sculpted by millennial erosion, function as natural pools where colors concentrate intensely. The river is born in the Precambrian rocky mesa, over 1.2 billion years old, flowing over quartzite that doesn't allow sedimentation, maintaining crystalline waters. Macarenia only flourishes in extremely specific conditions: neutral pH, constant temperature of 26 degrees Celsius, and total absence of mineral nutrients. This unique ecosystem, protected by Serranía de la Macarena Natural National Park since 1971, remained isolated for decades due to armed conflict, preserving its original purity and becoming a symbol of renaissant Colombian biodiversity. Number 8. Cartagena, the Caribbean Jewel. Cartagena de Indias emerges from the Caribbean Sea as an incomparable architectural jewel, protected by 11 kilometers of colonial walls that represent the most impressive and well-preserved defensive system in the Americas. Built between 1586 and 1796, these monumental fortifications were erected by the Spanish to defend the main export port of gold and silver from the New World against constant attacks by English, French, and Dutch pirates like Francis Drake, who sacked the city in 1586. The Ciudad Amurallada, declared UNESCO World Heritage in 1984, houses a labyrinth of stone streets where vibrant colored colonial houses display wooden balconies ornamented with cascading bougainvillea. Castillo San Felipe de Barajas, considered the largest Spanish fortress in America, dominates the bay entrance with its underground tunnels ingeniously designed to amplify invader sounds. The walls, up to 12 meters high and 17 meters thick, resisted more than 20 sieges during 3 centuries, protecting incalculable treasures that transited through Puerto de Indias. Today, the historic center preserves 606 colonial buildings where boutique hotels, gourmet restaurants, and art galleries operate. Colonial squares like Plaza de Armas and Plaza de la Aduana maintain their original atmosphere, while churches like La Catedral and San Pedro Claver guards centuries of religious history. At night, the illuminated walls create a unique, romantic setting where the sound of Caribbean waves mixes with vallenato music that echoes through the centennial stones of this heroic city that defied empires and preserved its intact colonial soul. Number 7. Salento and the Cocora Valley. The Cocora Valley houses one of Colombia's most impressive natural spectacles. The majestic wax palms, Saraxylon quindiense, which rise like green cathedrals reaching extraordinary heights of up to 60 meters, becoming the world's tallest palms. These centennial giants, declared Colombia's national tree in 1985, grow exclusively in the Andean mountains between 1,800 and 3,000 meters altitude, creating a surreal landscape that seems taken from a fairy tale. Located in the municipality of Salento, in the heart of Quindío's coffee zone, the valley extends through green meadows dotted by hundreds of these ancestral palms, some over 200 years old. The natural wax that coats their trunks was historically extracted for candle manufacturing and religious products, leading the species almost to extinction until its legal protection. Los Nevados Natural National Park currently protects this unique ecosystem, where palms coexist with exceptional biodiversity, including quetzals, Andean toucans, and spectacled bears. The 6-kilometer ecological trail allows visitors to walk among these plant giants, crossing suspension bridges over crystalline streams and observing endemic hummingbirds. Salento, with its colorful colonial houses and wooden balconies, serves as the entrance portal to this natural wonder, offering spectacular viewpoints where one can contemplate the dramatic contrast between the slender palms and the snowy peaks of the Central Cordillera. This natural sanctuary represents the essence of Colombian biodiversity, where each palm tells centuries of Andean climatic history. Number 6. The world's smoothest coffee. Colombian coffee conquered the world palate thanks to its incomparable smoothness and exceptional aromatic profile, result of a unique combination of geographical, climatic, and traditional factors that transformed Colombia into the world's third-largest coffee producer. Plantations spread across Andean slopes between 1,200 and 2,000 meters altitude, where mountain tropical climate creates perfect conditions, stable temperatures between 18 degrees Celsius and 24 degrees Celsius, well-distributed rains, and volcanic soils rich in nutrients. The coffee zone, composed of Caldas, Quindío, and Risaralda departments, was declared UNESCO World Heritage in 2011, recognizing not only the exceptional quality of the bean, but the entire cultural landscape built around this centennial activity. The secret of smoothness lies in the Arabica typica and Caturra varieties, cultivated exclusively in small family properties called fincas, where each coffee grower applies artisanal techniques transmitted through generations. The wet washing process completely removes the fruit pulp, preserving only the natural sugars of the bean. Harvesting is done 100% by hand, selecting only ripe cherries at the ideal point. Juan Valdez, character created in 1958, became a worldwide symbol of Colombian quality, representing more than 540,000 producers who dedicate their lives to perfect cultivation. The National Federation of Coffee Growers guarantees rigorous quality standards, making each cup of Colombian coffee offer fruity notes, balanced acidity, and medium body that conquered demanding palates in more than 60 countries, consolidating the reputation of being the smoothest and most aromatic coffee on the planet. Number 5. The Barranquilla Carnival. When the 4 days before Ash Wednesday arrive, the entire Colombian Caribbean coast transforms into an explosion of colors and ancestral rhythms. The Barranquilla Carnival, recognized by UNESCO in 2003 as a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage of humanity, awakens as one of the most extraordinary cultural manifestations in Latin America. In Barranquilla streets, more than 2 million people gather annually to celebrate the world's second-largest carnival, surpassed only by Rio de Janeiro. The festival tells a fascinating story of three cultures that intertwined to shape Caribbean identity: Indigenous, African, and Spanish, dancing together through cumbia, mapalé, garabato, and congo. Rey Momo and Reina del Carnaval command this symphony of traditions, while mythical characters like La Marimonda, El Garabato, and Las Negritas Puloy come to life in spectacular floats. The journey begins on Saturday with the Batalla de Flores, where thousands of dancers wear handcrafted costumes. Sunday brings the Gran Parada de Tradición, preserving centennial dances. On Monday, the Festival de Orquestas makes Caribbean bands compete in engaging rhythms. The emotional climax happens on Tuesday with La Muerte de Joselito Carnaval, a symbolic ritual where collective crying and lamentation end the festival, promising the return of this celebration that keeps alive the festive soul of the costeño people. Number 4. Medellín, the city of eternal spring. Colombia's second-largest city enjoys an extraordinary climatic privilege that earned it the romantic nickname City of Eternal Spring. Strategically situated in the Aburrá Valley at 1,495 meters altitude, the city maintains a constant average temperature of 22 degrees Celsius during all 365 days of the year, a meteorological rarity that transforms daily life into pure delight. This exceptional thermal stability results from the perfect combination between its equatorial location and Andean altitude, creating a unique microclimate where seasonal variations are practically non-existent. Temperatures oscillate gently between 16 degrees Celsius at dawn and 28 degrees Celsius at afternoon peaks, providing permanent comfort without need for heating or air conditioning. The valley is embraced by green mountains reaching up to 3,000 meters, creating a natural amphitheater that protects the city from extreme winds and regulates humidity. This climatic blessing allows paisas, local inhabitants, to cultivate flowers year-round, transforming Medellín into the world capital of floriculture, exporting carnations, roses, and alströmerias to the entire planet. Botanical gardens bloom perpetually. Parks remain always green, and people can wear light clothing constantly. Rains are harmoniously distributed, concentrating in 2 seasons, April, May, and September, November, but always interspersed with radiant sun. This eternal spring contributed significantly to the city's social transformation, allowing constant outdoor activities and improving the quality of life for 2.5 million inhabitants who daily enjoy this climatic paradise. Number 3. The Emerald Country. In the Colombian Andes Mountains hides a millennial treasure that fascinates the world. Colombia produces 70% of global emeralds, being recognized as the world capital of this sacred gem. When the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, the Muisca indigenous people had already been extracting these stones for 500 years, considering them symbols of divine fertility. At Lake Guatavita, they offered emeralds to the gods in ceremonial rituals that gave origin to the El Dorado legend. Today, in the famous mines of Muzo, Chivor, and Cosquez, miners descend to the depths in search of Colombian green. Colombian emeralds are the purest and most valuable on the planet, surpassing Brazil, Zambia, and Afghanistan in quality. Their unique geological formation, crystallization in calcite veins millions of years ago, creates incomparable transparency and intensity. A premium Colombian emerald can be worth more than equivalent diamonds. From Andean mines to New York and Paris markets, these gems carry ancestral magic, consolidating Colombia as the absolute kingdom of the world's most coveted green stones. Number 2. Bogotá, the world's highest capital. Bogotá, Colombia's vibrant capital, rises majestically 2,640 meters above sea level, positioning itself as one of the highest capitals on the planet, surpassed only by La Paz in Bolivia and Quito in Ecuador. This extraordinary altitude gives the city unique characteristics that impact everything from climate to the physiology of its inhabitants and visitors. The Bogotá Savanna, where the metropolis sits, is an Andean plateau surrounded by imposing mountains that create a spectacular natural amphitheater. The rarefied air, with approximately 25% less oxygen than at sea level, can cause altitude symptoms in the first days: mild headache, fatigue, and slight shortness of breath, especially during physical activities. The climate is eternally spring-like, with temperatures oscillating between 8 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius throughout the year, without defined seasons. Mornings are cool and sunny, afternoons can bring quick rains, and nights are always cold. This privileged altitude provides stunning panoramic views of the eastern Andes mountain range, especially of Cerro de Monserrate, 3,152 meters, and Guadalupe, 3,317 meters, two iconic peaks that embrace the city. Reduced atmospheric pressure also influences local cuisine. Water boils at 92 degrees Celsius instead of 100 degrees Celsius, altering cooking times and traditional recipes. Curiously, this altitude makes alcohol have more intense effects, with common warnings in bars about responsible consumption for non-acclimated visitors. Number 1. The only South American country with 2 coasts. Colombia boasts an absolutely privileged and unique geographical position in South America. It's the only country on the continent bathed simultaneously by 2 distinct oceans: the Pacific Ocean to the west and the Atlantic Ocean through the Caribbean Sea to the north. This extraordinary characteristic gives the country incomparable coastal diversity. The Caribbean coast extends for approximately 1,600 kilometers, offering golden sand beaches and crystal-clear waters in turquoise tones. Here we find paradisical destinations like Cartagena, Santa Marta, and the Rosario Islands, where the tropical climate remains warm year-round, with average temperatures of 28 degrees Celsius. Caribbean waters are ideal for diving, with vibrant coral reefs and exuberant marine life. The Pacific coast, with its 1,300 kilometers, presents a completely different scenario: wild beaches with dark volcanic sands surrounded by dense tropical forests. This region, less developed touristically, houses one of the richest biodiversities on the planet. Pacific waters are more agitated and cold, perfect for humpback whale watching between July and November. This oceanic duality allows Colombians and visitors to experience 2 distinct marine worlds: the Caribbean, with its vibrant culture, vallenato music, and seafood gastronomy with coconut, and the Pacific, with its Afro-descendant traditions, marimba rhythms, and unique dishes like fish sancocho prepared in bijao leaves. Hey everyone, what an incredible journey we made today through Colombia. I hope you were as surprised as I was with these 16 fascinating facts about this extraordinary country. From the world's purest emeralds to the only habitable mud volcano, passing through the underground salt cathedral and the planet's tallest palms, Colombia really showed us it's much more than we imagined. Which fact impressed you most? The 5-color river? The lost city older than Machu Picchu? Or maybe the giant bamboo stronger than steel? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this virtual trip, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to not miss our next incredible destinations. Share with that friend who needs to know these Colombian wonders. So, are you already planning a trip to the land of the world's smoothest coffee? See you in the next video. Hasta la vista.